Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my pick a pile readings. And for today's reading, I'd like to tap into the animal kingdom. And for me, the animal kingdom represents the earthly vibration of unconditional love. So I'm going to use the Archangel Animal cards to pull the theme of the three. And then what I want to do is I want to go into the energy of past, present, and future. So what that animal's perspective on is your past, present, and future. So what are you learning going forward? And of course with the future, I believe that we have the free will to choose the outcome of future events. So when I pull the future card, the intention will be what's happening next. Based on the two cards, the past, the present, what will be coming next for you. But please know that nothing is ever really defined, because I believe we have the choice, we have the ability to make decisions on a moment by moment basis. So I'm going to start pulling the themes from the Archangel Animal Oracle cards. And then for the past energy, I'm going to use the Answer is Simple. And then for the present energy, Sufi Wisdom Oracle. And for the future, I'm going to choose from the Nature's Whispers. And then we'll finish up with an affirmation and overall final message. All right, so let me begin by opening up space. I want to invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist, and specifically the animal kingdom, the essence of unconditional love from the earthly animal kingdom. I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for the best and highest good of all watching and all concerned. All right, so let's choose our three cards for the themes. So for the first animal, we have the dog. Oh, perfect. For unconditional love, it says, be disciplined in your home and community life. Archangel Zariel. So that's the first one. And for the second one, we have the badger. And the message is, bring your life into balance. Archangels Mary and Sandalphon. And then we have, for the third, gray squirrel. Find new ways of solving problems. Archangel Raphael. Wow. Awesome. So those will be the themes. As always, this is a general reading, so take in what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. All right, so I'm going to go into past energy. What does the dog energy see or want you to know about your past? What does the dog energy see or want you to know about your past? And what does the badger energy want you to know about your past? That's the most important thing. Badger pile needs to know about their past. And gray squirrel. What's the most important thing that gray squirrel feels like you need to know about your past? Gray squirrel. Okay, and present. What does... Actually, you know what? Let's go here. Oh God, I get a better setup. Okay, so let's see here. What does dog feel like you need to know about your present? Present current situation. And Badger. What does the Badger want to know? Want you to know about your present. And Gray Squirrel. What does Gray Squirrel want you to know about your present energy? And future. Dog. What does the dog pile, dog energy, want you to know about your future? Excuse me. And what does the Badger energy want you to know about your future? And Gray Squirrel. What does Gray Squirrel want you to know about your future? Gray Squirrel. Get loud and clear. And finally, an overall message, an affirmation to support you. Final message, dog. What final message does the dog pile, the dog energy have? Ooh, wow, that one flew out. Flew out of my hands. Badger energy. What is the final message for those who chose from the Badger energy? And Gray Squirrel. Gray Squirrel. What's the overall message? Here we go. All right, friends. Let's get these in order. Okay, if you stuck with me up until this point, it's just one final look at the energies. Dog, Badger, Gray Squirrel. All right. And for those of you who chose the dog pile, welcome. So here, once again, the message says, be disciplined in your home and community life. So dog energy, for those of you who chose dog energy, I feel like this is coming up for those of you who may have had challenges with regard to their home and social life. So this could be in regards to relationships, a support system, friendships, creating a community. Dogs are also very loyal. So one of the things that I'm getting is some of you who chose this pile may have had to break away from the pack. Some of you may have had loyalties to people who maybe have betrayed your trust. And so I feel like the dog energy here is reminding you to check in with yourself when friendships or relationships don't feel right. Also, too, I want to remind you about the balance of individual self-care and then nurturing and nourishing your relationships. And this could be romantic relationships, or it could be a support system, friendships. I feel like those of you who chose the dog pile, you may have had some disruptions in that, where you may have felt like disconnected, or you're separating from a pack. This could even be in your own family dynamic. So let's see, with that being said, what the dog energy feels about your past. Stick with it. So your past may have been you trying to fix and save and change and make better. This feels like maybe you felt like you stuck with it too long. Or maybe you were guilted or shamed into. So maybe it was for religious beliefs. Maybe you stayed in a marriage or relationship for religious beliefs. Maybe you stayed in friendships because you've been friends for many, many years. And I'm seeing the number 44 here, which is the angel number. And so the word forgiveness is coming up. I'm seeing that word. And one of the messages with your past right here, if you're still carrying any anger or resentment or confusion or sadness, in the past here, I would love you to go back and reflect upon what you learned about these situations or from these situations, and what you learned about yourself through the experiences. I think sometimes we can stick with things longer than we need to, in hopes that things will change and get better. And I think sometimes learning when it's time to move forward or move on from a situation is a big lesson or experience that I think every human goes through. So let's go into the present. What does the dog energy feel is going on in your present? Oh, union of love. Embrace the beloved within your heart. Interesting. So this is amazing how it's unfolding here. So this is maybe sticking with things too long, or you stuck with it, you gave it your best, but other people weren't putting in the same energy. And so in the present, the dog energy is reminding you that you're never alone, that the essence of God, source, creator, and the divine is always with you. So if you've separated from people and it's still sad, I feel like this card is reminding you in the present moment that only love in the present moment is real, and embrace the beloved within your heart. Oh, I say this so often that we have to, especially earth angels, have to maintain an energy of connection with the divine, with oneness. And sometimes unhealthy relationships or relationships that aren't a vibrational match for us can pull us away from this. And some of you who chose the dog energy may be feeling the separation. This is why breakups are painful, because there's a separation process, especially if there were deeper levels of intimacy within these dynamics or these relationships. It's not necessarily an intimate relationship, but maybe you did a lot for somebody. Maybe you helped them. Maybe you shared a lot with them and that started to turn. So it can feel like heartache and betrayal. And I feel like in the present, healing on the love that's in your heart, the beloved energy that's in your heart. This also too, it could be the loss of somebody. Maybe you lost somebody and you gave it your all, you stuck with it, and they passed and they transitioned. So you're feeling that grief from separation. And so this card, again, is the union of love within yourself. And from that deep sense of self-love comes earthly people, places, things, and experiences that are a vibrational match to that. If not, you're going to continue to repeat the same experiences you had in the past. So I feel like the dog energy is reminding you that it's a beautiful thing to be loyal. It's a beautiful thing to want to be in partnerships and relationships that are fulfilling, that are deep, that are intimate. But also too, that energy and that feeling has to come from the self first. And that's a tough thing. I mean, people, that energy of true love on this planet is intense. People are feeling it. People are feeling wanting to be in partnerships. That's what this 9-year cycle is about. And we've got to be willing to release and trust that the divine always has our back and has our best interests in mind. So what does the dog energy feel about your present? Ooh, a potential gateway. So we have potential gateway here. So this is future. And of course here, there's this theme, this energy of love here. Love and this could be a love reading. It could be a love reading with a friend. It could be a love reading with like a partner, or if you're single, we can even go there. Maybe you stuck with it and you're about to give up, and the universe is saying, come back to me. If you're trying to go outside of yourself to find your community, if you're on the hunt, I've got to find my community, I've got to find my people, I've got to find that man or that woman or that partner, what happens is it separates us from the divine love that's within us. And so I feel like in your present, the divine is saying here, the dog energy is saying that there is a loyal, loving, beautiful energy or community or partner out there for you. And so a potential gateway may be coming up. We see the number 5 here, 5 and 0. 5 is all about transition and change. It's about a new ways of doing things, a new approach to things. And of course, 0 is my interpretation of God's number. You know, we have the animals down here, you know, frolicking, and this heart about to open up in really the essence of like the tree of life. So I feel like those of you who chose this pile, the universe is saying through the dog energy that that which you desire, those partnerships, those friendships, those deep connections are on the way. And so you have to get back to the heart within yourself of love, whether it's God, source, creator, universe, and surrender and release it. I can tell you, if you're a feminine energy and you are on the hunt to find someone or make something happen, the energy is backwards, right? When you remember, feminine energy is receptive, she's magnetic, she draws things to her. And so when you're in that space, of love, of deep essence of love with creator, you vibrate at a whole new level. And I can tell you that masculine energy out there, and again, this is a reminder that, you know, I'm not talking about boy, girl, masculine, feminine energies aren't tied to gender, but that masculine energy and feminine energies tend to come together because it's like a polar pull. And so what will happen is the masculine energy will be drawn to your magnetism, will be drawn to your essence of light and color and joy and pleasure. So it shouldn't have to be so hard. And if it is, pull back and remember the love within as a potential gateway is about to open. And then the final affirmation, embracing your future. Yes, yes, yes. Look at it. She's walking into a new door. I step into the future with an open heart. So if you've had experiences in your past, be disciplined in yourself to not repeat the same experiences with the same energy over and over again. If you're attracting people who are taking advantage of you or not respecting your time, your energy, your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, it's not a vibrational match, right? Of course, we can have discussions about things and not everybody's perfect, but if you're more in touch with your needs and you know you need somebody who vibrates at a certain level or has a certain level of healing or self inner work that they've done, as you continue to do that yourself, you've got to trust that creator will bring that to you as a vibrational match. Be open to receiving. And if your masculine energies are watching this, connect with that gut feeling and that thinking mind, because you'll see that bright light. You'll see the genuineness in a soul that you desire for yourself. It's like it's like a pull. It's just so beautiful and so intoxicating. And this is why people get challenged with lust, and I'm talking about intimate relationships here, get so challenged with lust and love, And this is where we have to pull back and go within ourselves so we have the feeling of what feels right to us. So those of you who feel like you're at a place where you're like, I give up, I'll never find those people, I'll never find that community. If you're in an area that seems more harsh or difficult, this is reminding you to embrace the future. Give it up to God. Give it up to Creator. Such a powerful message with this energy walking through the door into a new energy. This 5 right here is about change. Remember, transition, new ways of doing things. So maybe inviting in the dog energy or the divine energy to show you the pathway. I mean, how often are animals left on the side of the road? How often are animals abused? And the magic is that they have these difficult beginnings and then they match these amazing homes with amazing people, and it's a beautiful life. I have one myself. I have a rescue dog who did not have a very good beginning, and I can tell you for the last 10 years he's had an amazing life, and he's taught me about love and loyalty on so many levels. So just meditating with dog energy, or if you have an animal, just sitting and embodying the essence of love or laughter or pleasure. The best thing is when I go home and my dog is so excited to see me. He's running and barking all over the house and he's so excited, and it just brings my heart joy, and it just fills me up. And I always say, God, bring me more of this in my life. And I just take some time to be in and with him in the experience. So I feel like you're well on your way. And again, the affirmation, I step into the future with an open heart. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What an awesome message. So those of you who chose the dog pile, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this and it didn't completely resonate with you, but yet it's something that somebody else is going through, please share this with them. Like and subscribe. It all helps my channel get exposure for more people to see this. And if you want to work with me or leave a donation to the channel, all the information is in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you well. Okay, so for those of you who chose the Badger pile, once again, the message, bring your life into balance. Archangels Mary and Sandalphon. So one of the first things that I feel like I'm getting here is balance of masculine and feminine energy. So in the physical body, the masculine energy is represented on the right side of the body, and the feminine energy is represented on the left side of the body. The left hand is receiving and the right hand is giving. So I feel like I want to remind those of you who chose the Badger pile about the importance of balance. And that means giving and receiving. It means taking action and pulling back and creating space and residing in the pause. That would be the feminine, pull back or action. So some of you who chose the Badger pile, the scales may be tipped. There may be too many have tos and shoulds. There may be too many things going on. Or you may be in a place of procrastination and putting things off and delay, and you're struggling with motivation. So you can call on the Badger energy for assistance to bring balance into your life. I'm getting an image of the yin-yang energy. The masculine energy is the white or the light, with the hint of shadow, and the feminine energy is the black or dark shadow part with the hint of light, or the small light within it. So many earth angels this year have been going deep within the mystery, like the unknown, which is the feminine energy. It's the moon energy. And I feel like some of you may be out of alignment. You may be trying to force things or make things happen, or saying yes to everything, and Badger energy is reminding you to pull back. It's like the ebb and flow, giving and receiving. Some of you may be having a hard time receiving, and it's easier for you to give. But with that, when you're giving from a depleted place, it energetically attracts takers. Meaning, when you're giving from a place of like, how do I say it? When you're giving from a place of lack of love, like, I'll do this for you, just stay with me. I'll do this for you, love me. I'll compromise my life for you, just stick it out with me. When you're in that place, what will happen is you'll attract friendships, work environments, partnerships of people who will take advantage of that. So coming into balance would be getting clear about what your needs are, what your wants are, and then receiving from the divine, receiving. And sometimes it's God, I'm open to receiving your divine blessings, your gifts, rather than always being in the action and always doing. I feel like some of you may be feeling the unknown or the abyss. And I'm feeling it as like overwhelm or anxiety, emotions that are coming up that are uncomfortable. So maybe some of you are keeping yourself busy, but there needs to be a pullback and a pause to go within to reset. So let's see what Badger energy says about your past. Oh, give it to God. Yes, I love it. So here we have this masculine energy, releasing the balloons, giving it up to God. So this is the action. It's if you're in that place where you're like, you can't do enough, you can't say enough, do enough, be enough. There's always things to do. This one needs this one. It just starts to create chaos and disarray and makes people feel out of control. And so if there's no action that you can take and a situation arises, I feel like the Badger energy is reminding you that you don't operate alone. Now, I have to say, 6 + 1 here is number 7, and 7 is self-reflection. It's self-analysis. It's going within. It's intuition. It's a very spiritual, vibratory number, and finding a spiritual approach to things. So those of you who chose the Badger energy through this imbalance may be having some aha moments through difficulties and challenges. So this is what Badger is reminding you. If you're in a place like, oh, why did I do that? And here I am again, and I shouldn't have done this, and I shouldn't have done that. The universe is saying, in that moment, give it to God. Saying, God, and then ask yourself, okay, the experience happened. What did I learn from it about myself? What did I learn from it? Or what did my soul learn from it? And how can I move forward? Is a great way to reflect. And so the present, what the present wants you to, Badger says, what the Badger wants you to know about your present moment or your present right now is simple pleasures. Look for the beauty that is all around you. Oh gosh, I can't, this is just so perfect. So to get out of this, to get out of the past, the should'ves, the could'ves, the would'ves, the imbalances, maybe you took on too much, maybe you got yourself into situations and you don't know how to get out of it. Maybe there's a lot going on and you're feeling unfulfilled and unhappy. Here is what the Badger energy is saying. Bring yourself back to the present moment in simple pleasures. I woke up this morning and I went to my slider and I just looked outside, and of course it was colder than the dickens out, but the sun was beautiful. And I just sat there for a moment looking out the window and just enjoying the sunlight. because here in New England, especially in Rhode Island, it's been raining for the last couple days. And then I went outside to take my dog out, and the snow on the pine tree in front of my house was melting. And there were these beautiful fat droplets that were falling to the ground. And I just sat there and looking up, like looking, my head was like all the way back. It was so beautiful watching these drops fall. And it was just so quiet and so beautiful. And so when you get caught up in all the have tos and shoulds and the overwhelm, especially if you're watching this currently at the end of December, you could also be watching this in the future at a time where a cycle is ending for you. And the universe is reminding you, bring it back to the present. I mean, the present energy is telling you to come to the present. I mean, that can't be any more in alignment and any more like, I'm seeing it as like an exclamation point. This is the answer. Give it to God and bring it here. It's not, how do I fix it, Gladys? How do I make it better? How do I change it? I've taken on too much, or I'm overwhelmed. I'm not taking care of myself. Or maybe you have pain. Maybe you have physical illness in your body. And you're trying to balance it all, and fear is creeping in. Again, this is a spiritual growth time for you. And the universe is saying, get back to the simple pleasures. A few months ago, started doing gratitude with my cousin every morning. We Marco Polo each other, and first things we do in the morning is we get on the video chat and we do our gratitudes. And some mornings it's the same gratitudes. I think coffee comes up so often, and pain-free bodies come up so often. But I can really see how it really has changed our conversations and really deepened the essence of our awareness throughout the day. So I'm personally doing this, and I can speak to how these minor adjustments will make huge changes for you in the long run. And so what the Badger energy wants you to know about your future: celebrate differences. Wow. So I see the 3 energy. The 3 energy reminds me of like laugh and play and sing and dance. It's also the Trinity energy, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. It's also too the embodiment of the masculine and feminine energy. And so if these experiences or these imbalances have come from other people's recklessness, or you've been intertwined in other people's stuff, if there's any codependency there, I feel like your future, like the future thinking, is to celebrate people's differences, meaning not everybody is going to do it the way you do, or not everybody is on the path that you're on. Not everybody is experiencing things in the way that you are. And so it's really easy to like dump our stuff on other people, or just say, you're the problem, you're this. But there's always a vibrational match in some way. So celebrate people's differences. You know, if you're feeling challenged by things, ask yourself, okay, how am I doing this to myself? If you're looking externally and there's something that triggers you or makes you unhappy, not unhappy, that's not the word. If something is triggering you and it's making you angry about something or fired up about something, pull back and ask yourself, could you be doing that to yourself? Could you be pushing yourself too hard? For example, let's say like maybe you're looking at somebody, and this is just very general. If you're looking at somebody and you're perceiving them as lazy, that they don't do anything, pull back and ask yourself, can you learn from that person? Are you doing so much that the universe is showing you what it looks like? If you're all going to get to the same place, right? How do you want to do it? Do you want to do it as hustling and energetically drained, and once you get across that finish line, be completely wiped out? Or can you learn from that person that you're interpreting as lazy or not doing anything? Or can you take a little bit of that and learn, like, okay, how can I sit down and put my feet up? How can I take care of myself a little bit? Am I being self-critical when I make time for myself. So, I mean, this is a lot, friends. And again, it's a very general reading. So I'm just giving you some tidbits here. Of course, all my coaching programs dive into this type of stuff. We get in and we unpack. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I personally have coaching myself. I think it's important to have a support system outside reminding you. So that's always available, or connecting with a spiritual, maybe a psycho-spiritual therapist, somebody who's working with the masculine, feminine energies is always great. Somebody who works with shadow work or the inner child stuff, and I feel like the universe doesn't want you to go through this alone. Maybe you're going through these experiences, but understand maybe a change is you learning from somebody else. Maybe it is going outside of yourself instead of keeping yourself busy trying to make things happen. And then the affirmation, mending bridges. I love it. I heal rifts, excuse me, and I am a mender. Oh, so one of the things that I'm seeing that is healing rifts within yourself. Healing that part of you that feels guilty about what you should be doing or what society or your friends or family expect of you. Healing inner child work. So if you're constantly I don't want to say that, pushing yourself beyond what you have the energy for, and your inner child or your intuition is saying, slow down, drink your water, you need to eat some protein, go to bed early. But that mental ego mind part of you is saying, oh, you can do one more thing, you can't sit, you've got too much to do, there's too much happening. That is going to create a hardness and a bitterness. And I can tell you, there are a lot of people walking out around radiating that energy who are unaware of it. And so if you're feeling that fuming on the inside but calm and cool on the outside because of these experiences, I feel like the mending bridges here starts with you and going within and getting really clear about what it is that you want and how you want to feel, what you're worthy and deserving of. I feel like some of you are working really, really hard. I feel like, so there are two energies here, like to get across to the other side. Some of you could be energetically building the bridge, hammering, using the hammer, the nails, the plywood, really doing the physical stuff to get to where you want to be. And then there's the feminine energy, which is the action. And then there's the feminine energy who decides to laugh and play and sing and dance on the side of the river. And as that energy gives it to God, stones rise up, and she'll gently walk over the stones. So I'm feeling patience for some of you. That is giving it to God and allowing things to happen and unfold naturally. And while you're waiting, because when you're building a bridge by yourself, it is exhausting. And God is saying, I can assist you. I can support you. I can make it easier for you. Start with the simple pleasure. Start with bringing it back to the present moment, feeling the air on your skin, enjoying the taste of an apple or some chocolate, celebrating people's differences instead of their right or wrong, good or bad. They can have their experience and you can have your experience. You can feel this way and they can feel that way. And give it some room. Give it some pull back and give your life a pause. And when you invite the divine in, oh God, you certainly need to be patient. That is definitely something the feminine energy is learning about patience. When, God, why God, when's the next step? What's going to happen? Oh, I'll just do it myself. It's easier if I do it myself. That energy just is exhausting and depleting. So for those of you who are watching this and you're feeling energetically drained and depleted, pull back, pause, do some meditations, go within yourself, maybe some healing meditations. I really enjoy Steve Noble's meditations, guided meditations, his energy transmissions. It fills you with light and shifts your vibration, and they're really powerful. All right, wow. That's all I'm gonna say about this. Pile 2, or the Badger energy. So thank you so much for watching. If you feel like this reading could resonate with someone you love, please share this with them, like, subscribe. All of that just helps my channel reach more people. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you well. Hi, Gray Squirrel friends. Welcome. So, as a reminder, the message here says, find new ways of solving problems. Archangel Raphael. Okay. So much is happening here. So first, the Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing. I feel like, so if you think about squirrel energy runs around in the fall in preparation for the winter. It burrows away and hoards all its food and its nuts for the winter. So it like packs it away. I'm also being drawn to the heart and the third eye here. And I'm getting the words problem solving. So those of you who chose the Gray Squirrel pile, I feel like you're being guided to shift the way you're problem solving. If you're in your mental mind, trying to force things and make things happen, I feel like Gray Squirrel is reminding you that you have this incredible gift of foresight and intuition. Right? And this divine connection that's infinite. You know, I'm seeing this energy here, which is an 8. 8s and 0s are my symbol for God and the infinity energy. And I feel like maybe some of you have had some things that need to be taken care of. I want to speak to those who may be procrastinating things on things too, because you don't know how things are going to unfold, or, you know, action steps may be seeming overwhelming. Coming up with creative solutions to your problems. And I also want to speak to the Archangel Raphael, or from the Archangel Raphael, asking you to call upon him for healing, deeper levels of healing. So if you've got a challenge or a difficulty, invite Archangel Raphael in to that situation and experience. He's the angel of miracles. He's the angel of healing. He's the angel that helps with finances. He's the angel that helps with conflict in relationships. And I feel like I'm seeing some of you may have come up against a brick wall and you've done everything and you're still overwhelmed and you're still anxious. A lot of these 3 piles are very similar in a lot of ways on how it's all unfolded, but yet it's very specific. So let's go into the past. What does Gray Squirrel want you to know about your past? Listen to the music. You know, I feel like I want to speak to procrastination, putting things off, avoiding pretending like things aren't happening. Of course, this is a general reading, so it may not be everybody, so stick with it. And, you know, as I go forward, it's really not resonating, definitely choose the dog pile or the badger pile, because a lot of these messages were similar. But I'm feeling like this listen to the music here is distraction, escapism. I'm seeing like watching TV or doing things that you don't need to be doing. And again, those are not all bad things. We're not saying this is right or wrong, good or bad. But things could be piling up for you. Let me see here. I want to open up the book for a moment on that. Because we do have the 1 and the 9 here, which is like a cycle of endings and beginnings. And of course, 9 plus 1 equals 10, and 1 energy is like new beginnings. So this may be like a wake-up call. Maybe you've been running around like crazy, squirreling away, trying to get everything done. And so sometimes being so tired or overwhelmed or exhausted, we just opt out. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience. I'm also thinking that maybe some of you were called to face some of your fears or face some of those shadow parts of you through this. Let's see. Let me get here. Oh, it says, the bridge to heaven is music, and right now your spirit is calling you to enjoy its benefits. Don't allow your ego to diminish its importance to your spirit or to cut you off from its fuel. Music not only regenerates your body, it also raises your vibration and fills your heart with joy and enthusiasm. So this may be speaking to that ego part of you that may have felt like, well, I don't trust. Or I'm just going to put this off. And I feel like the divine can assist you with the step-by-step process on how to move forward or get yourself going or finding creative solutions to finding creative solutions to your problems or your perception of them. Interesting. I'm just getting like a bunch of different images. So let me just kind of pause for a moment. Did I pull 2 cards here? Okay, so let me see here. All right, let's go into, so with regards to your past, maybe you got too far away from or disconnected from the divine in your past, and they're starting to tell you, come back. Come back to the music. Come back to the essence of the heart. Come back to the intuition. And so with your present energy, finding the path. I love it. You are the driver and the navigator. So I feel like maybe some of you are getting too caught up in the details. Maybe you're getting lost in the forest and you've forgotten what your end game is or why you're doing what you're doing. And so I feel like maybe you've gotten lost a little bit. Maybe you've gotten far away from the divine. Maybe you've gotten caught up with the ego, or you've gotten caught up with the 3D world, and you're feeling disconnected, out of alignment, and that problems are coming up and it's triggering worries and fears. I feel like this card in the present saying finding the path. Remember that you are the driver and the navigator. So you're going along, but you also get to decide if you want to take a detour. You also get to decide if you want to pull over on the side of the road and look at some sights. I also want to speak to, it's not good or bad, right or wrong. You can have experiences and learn from them and grow from them. Any decision you make does not have to be the whole rest of your life. So feminine energies, especially if you're trying to decide or make decisions on what to do, feminine energy is, it's very easy for the masculine to interpret the feminine energy as like finicky, or that feminine energy doesn't know what it wants. And so with that, the feminine energy is it kind of like to create. The energy like molds like Play-Doh. It's like, okay, I'm going to take the Play-Doh out of the container, and then I'm going to start making some balls and some rolling it out, and then eventually it becomes something. Just like that feminine energy who sees the dessert tray and it's like, I will try a little piece of this and a little piece of that. Feminine energy needs to experience multiple different things before it decides like, okay, this is it. So it can appear that feminine energy doesn't know what it wants, but what it's doing is actually taking action to create. So finding a path that works for you. When you're making decisions, know that it doesn't have to be, whatever decision you make doesn't have to be for the whole rest of your life. You can try something, you can experience it, and if it's not for you, another doorway or another path will open up. So you're not locked in. So if you've been frozen in that space, like I don't know what to do, and you've gotten away from the divine's heavenly music, your own intuition and your third eye and your connection, bring it back to source, and that will help you find the path. It's no coincidence you have the emerald green here, and the emerald green, which is the Archangel Raphael energy, and he will assist you in healing. Some of you may feel like, you know what, it's going to take a miracle. Well, I have experienced many miracles through the Archangel Raphael. Financially is one big one. So don't underestimate the power of the divine. So what does Gray Squirrel want you to know about your future? Oh, breakthrough. Yes. Again, there's the 8 energy, friends. It's no coincidence that it's coming up again, right? Look at this essence of her energy. Her heart is open. And through that, it's like the butterflies are spreading their wings. This is the feminine receptor energy. She's open to receiving. Gosh, this is so beautiful. So you're about to go through a breakthrough with your challenges. Maybe you did something or you experienced something that's been hurtful. Maybe you're questioning your decisions. Maybe you're up against a brick wall and you've got a problem and you're not really sure. I feel like the universe is saying, hey, you might have gotten sidetracked. Remember, you're never locked in. You are finding the path right now, and you're the driver and the navigator, so you don't have to stick with something if it really is not a vibrational match. You're learning through the experiences because you're about to come through a breakthrough. You're about to have an aha moment. You're about to have an epiphany. You're about to have a transformation or a change. So I feel like this is a reminder of what's coming for you. So get on this. Get back to yourself. If you're putting your energy into other people, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Trying to control them, trying to make things happen. It's not fair. All these things are creating like resistance. And when you've got constriction in your chest and when you're constricting in your chest, that means you're resisting. All that stuff that you desire is already there. Opening your heart to receive it, or opening your heart for that or something even better. Sometimes things aren't coming into our lives because God has a bigger plan. God has something better for you. How many times have you looked back and you're like, wow, I really wanted that really bad. Thank God I didn't get that. I just noticed that today I went online and I had some things in my shopping cart for a store that I had put in like a few months ago, and I was looking at it and I was like, I don't even like that. Thank God I didn't buy that, or thank God I didn't purchase it. So, when we're in that impulse energy, it's easy to feel the pull, but if you can pull back and get some space in between it, you may have some clarity on the path and what the next steps are. And then, of course, the affirmation. And then from there, you take action. I enthusiastically embrace life's boundless possibilities, right? Finding new ways of solving problems, and we finish, and then you take action. I enthusiastically embrace life's boundless possibilities. Again, that's speaking to the fact that you may be up against a wall right now, or you might be sidetracked because of fear, calling on the divine, getting back to the essence of that music, right? That heart song within you, that heart song, your intuition, that deep inner knowing that you're back on track. Or there's this in my integrated energy therapy training, there's an affirmation that I absolutely love, is you don't have to know where you're going so long as you know that you're on your way. And I always refer back to that because I think it's a beautiful thing. So as we're on a path, we're not always going to know where the path leads. That's just part of the human experience. And that's why I say with the future, it's about things are going to unfold based on the decisions that you make here in this moment. And so if things aren't working and you've been doing the same things over and over again, and the patterns are coming up and there's repeated experiences and situations that are happening over and over again that are just exhausting, that are just robbing you of your pleasure, of your joy, the universe is saying, pull back. You're about to go through a breakthrough and about to take some action, but it's got to be in a different way. Wow. That's incredible. That's just beautiful. All right, so for those of you who chose this gray squirrel pile, thank you so much for watching. If you feel like this message could resonate with somebody you love, please share this with them. Like, subscribe to my channel. All of those things help me get more exposure, to connect with more people, to get these messages out further. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you well. I am going to do my closing. So if you want to stay and close out the energy with me, that is wonderful too. Okay, so I want to thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with these messages for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done, in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. And always remember, I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.